Part 2. So last time I was just telling you what files are important. API, JSON map.js, JavaScript map.js, and of course our index.html. Remember, HTML is basically the markup language that positions things and styles things on the screen. Your JavaScript file is where our logic is, and it captures events on the front where where HTML is showing things. JavaScript captures things and moves things and adds things and gets data, and then the API gives us our data. So what I'm going to do right now is I cleaned out this API file from we had a lot of extra stuff from when we were doing little lessons here and there. But I'm going to add some back-end code. We have basic routes. Remember, this default route returns my Mapbox token. Well, not default route, it's a token route. This default route, if you don't put any information on the URL, it just returns all the routes as they're displayed here. And then I have a couple of extra things that I don't want to get rid of them because we might use them. This gives us a bearing between 2 points. And then handle response, packages it nicely so we get a consistent response back so we can handle it on the front end with our JavaScript file. Format help literally gets the doc strings. This is a doc string, and format help grabs those for each method and displays them. Then I got a couple of tests because like sometimes the latitudes and longitudes are stored as string. I want to see if I can turn it into a float without throwing an actual error. Same thing with about JSON files. So yeah, let's add something to the back end. So I don't know if I want to write classes for everything, but I have in my data folder, I know I'm going to need the states, just the names for a drop-down that I'm going to do in one of my examples. So let's write a method to get us those states. Well, not, I don't know, let's write a class. Why not? No, I'll just write a method. Actually, I'm going to go with some global stuff. So states is equal to actually with, let's open our data file, and the data file is called states.json, and as f data is equal to f dot read and I'm not going to do a lot of error checking using my methods right on the video. I'll go back and add things, but we're going to now say states is equal to json.loads data. So every time we start Flask.api, there's going to be a few things up here that run, that load, and it's going to be kind of like our database. So I'm going to make most of these capitalized so that we know they're big globals. Now, I don't like this organization scheme, but it'll work for us. So if we wanted to test that out, and then from our command line, let me slide this over. I don't even know where I am. Alright, cd assets, cd API, and then Python 3. I had a warning, but anyway, here's all my states with the name and the abbreviation. And Flask is running now. I'm going to move that to another terminal, but that works. So let's take a route and grab our states with a route. So we've already got something similar. In fact, I might have one written already. Yeah, I do. So route is named states. It's a get method, meaning somebody's going to get information from us, called states, and this returns a list of US state names. That's how we call it. So this filter I'll discuss a little later. No, I'll do it now. So this request.args.get, remember this function pulls anything off of the URL. And so what this will do is filter is equal to like TEX. It'll get all states that start with TEX, or in this case MIS. So if there is a filter, because if I don't pass something in here, filter will not be on the URL, so it'll be defaulted to none. So if there is, I'll create a results list, loop through my states that we created up top, and then basically if we lowercase filter and it's anywhere in the state name, well actually not anywhere, it'll search from the beginning of the list, colon is and we're slicing this list up to the length of this text that I'm passing in. I lowercase it to do a for sure comparison. And then if I get a match, results.append state. So if I don't have a filter, just return all the states. And then I call my handle response. So if I save that, and let's run that Flask app. And then here, if I refresh, here's states, right? And that just gives me an example. So if I go up top and I append states, oops, and hit enter. Ooh, remember we always have to, if we're gonna define it with a slash at the end, we gotta put it, and if we don't have it, then don't put it. So this gives me all the states, 59 states, yeah. No, it's got like Samoa and some other stuff in there. So if I put question mark, filter equals like MIS, then I get the two states that start with MIS. And so what we're going to do with this, all the states that start with a T. So what we'll do with this is, as somebody starts typing in a box, we'll keep sending requests to filter down, to give them fewer and fewer choices to choose from. Let's see. So we've got a route. We added one data, backend data thing, which just open a JSON file, and we've got a route to talk to it, and that's good enough for this video. See you in a minute.